Anybody can say anything about you now.
Yes.
It's the power of the internet. And they're gonna talk about all the negative things. Nobody gonna talk about the good things that we are doing. And so we gotta stop the media from glorifying this stuff. Because think about it, if we ain't glorified, it won't be nothing. Because if I did something wrong, take me to jail. Martin Luther King fought for our civil rights. We gotta fight for financial freedom. And if we don't do that, we're gonna lose. Then we have no control in our communities, or we own nothing in our communities, and that's why we had a police brutality. So think about it, if we was policing us, and we own this in these communities, we wouldn't have all the incidents and the injustice that we have. God didn't put us on this earth to be poor. And so everybody think just because you're in church, you're supposed to be poor. No, because you know when we get to heaven, we're gonna have everything that we need, right? But why can't we have some of the things to help our people while we're here?
Hey family, welcome to the Jamal Bryant Let's Be Clear podcast. It's 2024, but it feels like 1999, a living legend, a trailblazer, a pathfinder, an icon. There is only one No Limit soldier. Would you help me warmly welcome Master P is in the building. Come on. I announced Sunday that you were coming today, and one of the church mothers pulled me aside and said, we serve Jesus around here. I said, me too. She said, who is this man you call him master? I said, no, mama. Where did Master P come from?
I named my company No Limit because there's going to be no limit to my success. And I call myself Master P because I'm a master whatever I do.
No, that's great.
And when you put God first, nothing is impossible.
The number one killer of black people is not drugs, it's not alcohol, it's not racial profiling, it's not even a prison pipeline, it's low self-esteem.
Yeah.
How did you get to that level of limitless self-esteem?
So when I grew up in the project, I lived in a 3-bedroom project with my grandparents. So everybody always make excuses. I just didn't make excuses. I was just thankful that God had a roof over our heads. And I said, one day I'm gonna make this better. And so I think anybody that's out here right now, stop making excuses. I think we make these excuses and we hold ourselves back. And we always say we want to hit a home run, but how can you hit a home run when you never swing at the ball?
Wow, no, that's powerful. I want you to help because there are some people who are bound by their geography. They think in order to be great, they got to move. So the music industry traditionally was LA and New York.
Yes.
Then Atlanta came around.
Yes.
But nobody in the world saw the disruptor of New Orleans breaking down the whole rap music game.
Yeah. Well, you know what? When you look at the East Coast and the West Coast, right, this traditionally thinking that this is where music should be at. But when you look at New Orleans, you look at Atlanta, you look at the South, I just felt like anytime I start a business, I find a problem. Wow. And I seen the problem was it was nobody looked like us owned anything, and nobody looked like us was successful in the music business at that higher level without having somebody else as a partner to bring them along. So I figured if we're gonna bridge the wealth gap, then we need to at least start controlling some of these things. And so I just kept working hard. I started out like the Avon lady selling my CDs at the trunk of the car. And that's where I got that from. I watched the Avon lady in my hood sell her products, and I'm like, I could do the same thing. I couldn't afford to have a store at the time. I didn't have a storefront, but I utilized the way that Avon lady took her product and took it to the streets, and I did the same thing. I said, if we could do this negative stuff, how come we can't take something positive? It'll last longer. And that's why I'm here today, because the longevity, knowing that don't be afraid to grow, don't be afraid to get better, and don't be afraid to have integrity. Because when you look at it right now in the music industry, the reason why we losing because we don't have integrity. And so when you put your trust and faith in God, you're going to have integrity.
And you just left a straight bullet on the curb because you said every business you go into, you're trying to solve a problem.
Yes.
I need you to park right there.
So I want y'all to think of this, right? You can't sell a house that's fixed up to get the money out of it, but you can sell a house that need to be fixed to make more money out of it. And so I always thought that if I find a problem, so people say, you got to have a lot of money. I started my record company with $10,000. But it's also a problem when your car need to be washed. Somebody can start a business with $5. All you need is soap and water.
Right.
But you got to put the work in. I was just talking to somebody about this, saying that faith without work is dead. We had a faith, but we don't want to put the work in. And so that's why we can't bridge the wealth gap. So think about it. We just want to pray. God, help us with this and give us this. No, for real, y'all think about it. We was raised like that. I was just telling somebody that said, I had more money than the person that my grandmother was working for, but she couldn't understand that I was successful because she was already programmed.
Wow.
So she was programmed to go work for these people and clean their house. I had to go to the guy, tell the guy, why my grandmother? He said, I told her, sir, you got more money than me. But I had to deprogram her. So think about it. Our elderly people are not being programmed the right way because they think that we got to work our way to the top. We're not going to get to the top just working. So that's why being an entrepreneur is so important. But I'm not telling y'all to quit y'all jobs. I'm saying put 8 hours in for them, put 12 hours for us.
No, that's good. You said something else in passing, Percy, that's so important. The data says that over 80% of black people can't put their hands on $5,000 in a crisis. So I want you to go back on where you walked into that $10,000.
Well, so for me, and that's why I said that you got to keep your trust and faith in God, right? So I lost my grandfather, and he gave everybody in the family, my grandmother gave everybody in the family $10,000. So it's what you do with your money, right? So I had uncles, I had brothers, they did the wrong thing with their money. It's just like God said, take your talent and go do something with it.
Right.
They got some people go bury their talent because they thinking that I'm going to be safe.
Right.
So you got to do what it is when it's uncomfortable. And so that's what I want you guys to know, that it's going to be uncomfortable. So I've been uncomfortable so long to where I'm like, if I ever get this money, I'm about to go make something happen.
Right.
And so when you invest in yourself and you spend your own money, if somebody give you something, you're not going to do nothing with it, right? But when you take that last money you have and say, I'm going to create a business with this, that business is going to work. But if somebody else give you the money, you might say, well, you know what, I got 10 more chances at this. I had no other chances. It's either I was going to do right with this money or do wrong with it. And so my brother lost his life. I got another brother incarcerated. I got an uncle that lost his life, because everybody's thinking, because you know where we come from, everybody think, oh, I got to get a hustle on. I got to try to flip this.
Right.
I'm thinking to myself, I said, I'm about to take this money and I'm about to grow me a business. But I'm going to have to put the work in. And so we really don't want to put the work in, just like we here at the church, right? This church is a business at the same time. But if you have the wrong people running your business, you're going to lose.
Yes.
You can't just have volunteers running your business. I look at all these big companies, I say, why are they so successful? Because they brought experts. And so that's the same thing that I learned to do with my business. I want to create experts. So when I bring somebody in and I give them that value, then we could grow the business. Same way we got to grow the church. I just don't like seeing black churches, we're not growing because we don't have the experts around. And that's why we're talking about bridging the wealth gap.
That's right.
That's the way we bridge it. Our conversation we having, most people wouldn't have this to say, oh, Master P, a rapper. I used to be a rapper. Right. No, let's be honest.
Right. Yes.
That's just like some of the people that we see, right? We don't judge them because of what they used to be. That's why God said he's taking everybody.
Yeah.
Because some of us are afraid to come into the church because we think that we're going to get struck down when we come to church.
Yeah.
No, especially if you did something wrong. You're not looking at that God had murderers, killers, sinners, prostitutes, all these different things. We got to make sure that we give our people second chances.
Yeah.
And so giving us a second chance, you see what you see now. You see me. You don't see the ice cream man from 20 years ago. I'm selling products, I'm selling foods, so I'm telling my people to take this journey with us. We also teaching and educating the next generation. And the way we bridge the wealth gap, we got to teach financial literacy. We got to show our culture because they teach their culture credit. At 7 years old, they building credit for their cultures. What are we building? We have to change that mindset.
Yes. You talked about reprogramming your grandmother to think differently.
Yes.
I want you to talk about the reprogramming because a lot of our people like the show but don't understand the business.
And so I want to tell y'all about reprogramming somebody that's elderly, that's wisdom of the family, right? We got to change the traditional thinking. And I had to show my grandmother in love because I respect her, but I also had to show her that the world is changing. We in a different time. We're in the 21st century. And so even you don't know about the internet, you don't know about the computers. I can show you that. But we also have to grow. So I think even the parents have to be able to take advice from the kids, the ones that are coming in love, to show you that times are changing. And so I had to reprogram her thinking the same way my kids reprogram my thinking.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wait up, how you do this? And so you got to look at it, right? If you don't know that, you think that it's something wrong because you think of traditional thinking. Traditional thinking is not going to get us to the wealth because wealth comes from ideas. We looking for the money. Everybody that I know, they think, oh, I need this job. I got to pay these bills. Wealth building ain't built on bills.
Yes.
Because we'll be paying bills our whole life. And that's why think about it, we don't get a chance to say, how do we start over? How do we build? How do we reproduce? Because that's what we put here for. And so if we could teach the next generation and also go back and teach the elderly that times are changing. But you got to do it in love. So I figured out how to do it in love to show my grandmother, and she got it. And it took some time. People in our family, we had to fire.
Wow.
So I had to fire some people in my family. And my grandmother got mad at me. She said, baby, why you fired my son?
Right.
I said, Big Mama, your son was messing up my business because now I won't be able to get you this house and get all these things that we have if he rude to people. He don't have no integrity, so I had to let him go. I would rather have good people around me, even if they're not kin to me, so we can grow the business.
No, that's valuable. A lot of people in this era, especially in the social media era, more fixed on building a brand than building a business.
Yeah.
Which order and how do you do it?
Well, so if you build a business, then the business is going to be a part of your brand. So think about it. When I got into the music business, I didn't get into the business just to be an artist. So that's why I'm able to survive the sustainability. I learned the music business. I tell people all the time, 10% is your talent, 90% is your business. And so a lot of us do the opposite. We go, oh, I'm talented. I want to be Kobe Bryant. I want to be Michael Jordan. But you're going to grow up one day, and you're going to get older. You're not going to be able to do that. So then what? And so that's why I said the business part of it is so important, because if you look at these brands that they're building out there, right, we would have never knew who Nike was without Michael Jordan.
That's right.
And so imagine now once you got the business together and we can control and get a piece of that, then we could take care of our culture and our people. Because I think it's all about preparing our culture. So, Martin Luther King fought for our civil rights. We got to fight for financial freedom. And if we don't do that, we're going to lose. Then we have no control in our communities, or we own nothing in our communities. And that's why we had a police brutality. So think about it. If we was policing us, and we own this in these communities, we wouldn't have all the incidents and the injustice that we have.
Yeah. When you deal with injustice and racism, a lot of people just think about police brutality, aggressive policing, but racism still exists in the corporate space, and you are just now, you having to beat Malcolm X with Walmart. So I want you to tell them about what's happening.
Well, so the thing is, I want you guys to know, right, even though racism exists and we look at the injustice, but it's also for us having the lack of information. And so we had the right information and know that we can actually get out here and do something for our people and create change. We also can't be afraid or be scared. So when you look at us, a lot of us are scared to even stand up for ourselves. So for me, I was able to go at Walmart because I realized that the diversity wasn't real. Don't be diversity on Black History Month. I'm saying make sure that people look like us have real diversity. And so we want to do business with them. They're one of the largest retailers in the world. But sometimes don't be afraid to tell them that you're doing us wrong, because our dollars is what keeping this going.
Right.
We spend trillions of dollars, so we can't say what's right or what's wrong.
Right.
And so my thing is, even the people that look like us, that work, that's on the higher up, I had to challenge them too, saying don't just be there to accept a job and a paycheck. Because even if you lose your job, you might save 1,000 or 10,000 people after you to change. And so that's what we're looking for. The change is coming if we're not afraid to stand up. And we're saying do it with respect, do it with integrity, and do it with love. So I'm not mad at them, but I had to show them that you're not just going to keep doing this to us. And you could take away my business. You can make sure that we don't have to put nothing else in there. That's fine. Right. But I'm going to open these doors for the 10,000 people that's going to create that revenue for our culture.
Yeah. We are what some writers call the fourth wave of wealth. The first was real estate. Second was industry. Third was .com or technology. The fourth wave is entrepreneurship. In the fourth wave of wealth, people here got surfboards and want to ride.
Yes.
If there were 3 areas you would recommend people to go into in business today, where would you point them?
I mean, for me, I think I would go into real estate and insurance. Because think about it, we're dying all the time.
Yeah.
We're not able to pass nothing down. You know, we saying that we can't take this with us, we can't. But you know the Bible say if you leave nothing here, then what did you do?
Wow.
So we have to leave something for the next generation. And so my thing is, when you look at the insurance thing, right, a lot of us are afraid because we hear that word. Oh, we was laughing on our way over here, right, when the kids asked, oh, am I in the wheel? You're like, well, you think we going somewhere? Like, hold up, like, so think about it. We think like that because we think, oh, you getting older, then okay, what are you guys gonna leave for us?
Right.
And so we have to reprogram that mindset, saying, what are you gonna do while you're here? Once you go create a business, go build a brand, right? Look at the banking system to change. So the bank can invest their money into insurance, but we're not programmed to understand that. How come the banks take your money and put it to these insurance companies? Because they're able to make compound interest off their money. So we don't know nothing about it. We just say, hey, if one of us gets successful and have millions of dollars, we're just going to take our money to the bank. Yeah. The bank going to take our money and take it to the insurance company. And I know growing up in the hood, right, the insurance man never get robbed.
Wow.
Why the insurance man never get robbed? He got a briefcase full of money, but that insurance man already have you paranoid and scared that your parents gonna be, well, how I'm gonna bury my kids, how I'm gonna bury my people. The only way I'm gonna do it is this insurance man. He got to get to where he need to go at because he hold the control to everything that we have. Think about that, y'all. We ever thought about that? Insurance man, they rob everybody but the insurance man.
They got a hood pass.
The insurance man got a hood pass for real, y'all. I'm telling y'all, it's been going on for years. And I used to get into fights when I was in the hood, right? Because I said, we used to play this game called That's My Car.
Yes.
So my friends always be, that's my car, this fixed up Cutlass. And I say, that's my car, this Mercedes that the insurance man had no wheels on. It's like, P, that car ugly. I said, that car cost $100,000. And so the guys wanted to beat me up because they didn't understand. I'm like, no, man, do the math. That Cutlass cost $15,000. If you put $5,000 worth of wheels, that's just $20,000.
Right.
Go look and see how much that Mercedes, that insurance man driving. That cost $100,000.
Wow.
And it had no wheels on it. So we don't see the value because we looking at what it is. The insurance man got a $100,000 car coming in the hood. It have no wheels on it, and we let them make it every time. But if one of us went through there, we gonna get robbed.
Right.
Think about it, it's just the way we think. That's all I'm saying. We have to deprogram. Just like us right now. We're talking about something positive and where I'm at in life. They won't allow me to change and grow and be here with you in the church. I've been in the church all my life. That's what people don't know. They just look at Master P, make them say, the ice cream man. But no, for real, I want y'all to know, I was an altar boy.
No way.
Yeah.
I need a picture.
Bro, I sold popcorn. Before I was the ice cream man, I sold popcorns at the Superdome in New Orleans. So that's what I'm saying. You got to crawl before you walk.
Yeah.
But guess what? With God, I had that foundation. So I think that's why I was able to treat people the right way, and I could stay out of all the mess that people into, because I know. You say, nobody police me but me. If I wanted to be better, I had to do better if I know better.
Right.
And so I think having that foundation and knowing who God was at an early age, it able to make me change and grow and to be, I'm not perfect. You know, I just try to say, what can I do to not be a double-minded man? So that's when I start understanding that. They said a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. I had to change my ways.
Come on, Pastor Percy. Yeah. One of my mentors said that one of the mistakes black people make is in going into business, we choose our passion. Yeah. When our passion should be our hobby, not our business. Well, do you agree with that? Do you like potato chips?
I love potato chips. I love cereal. That's why I got into that business. I love oatmeal. But I think a lot of people get into things for the money. You have to love what you're doing. And I tell my kids all the time, I say, I'm going to support what you're doing if you love it. My sons play basketball, right? They're both in college. Don't wake me up 5 o'clock in the morning if you really don't love it. If I got to wake you up, we're not going.
Wow.
If you waking me up, then let's go to that gym and let's go do what we got to do. Yeah. And I'm going to support you. And I think a lot of people get into it because they always say, I don't want to be around a person that tell me, oh, we're going to make $10 million off this business. I say, you in it for the money. So what if we make nothing? You going to quit? So let me tell y'all some of my music, right? So I made a song called Bout It, Bout It. That's how I got started. They thought I was crazy. So I was in the radio station with Tupac, all these people, and I'm trying to sell my record. And I'm in California, so I'm from the South. The guy said, what is this Bout It, Bout It? I said, man, it's going to be big one day. Man said, bring me something back next week. Give me another song, I'm going to listen to it. I said, yes, sir. Next week came, I came back with Bout It, Bout It. He said, didn't I tell you to bring me another record? I said, yes, sir, I'll be back. Next week, I'm going to bring you something. He said, what you got? I said, Bout It, Bout It. He said, didn't I tell you to bring me something else? I went 6 weeks. The man said, man, I'm going to just play this, and if the people say they don't like it, I don't have to see you or talk to you no more. I said, yes, sir, please just play it for the people one time. He put the record on, people start calling in, I like that Bout It, Bout It. Man, that man was so mad. But I didn't give up, I believed. So think about it, most of us let people tell us what it is, and you don't even believe what you're doing. But I wasn't doing it for the money. I did it because I love what I was doing.
That's powerful. Sylvester Stallone gives the story that Hollywood tried to buy Rocky from him for $1 million if he wouldn't be in it.
Wow.
And they would find somebody else to play the role. And he wouldn't give it up because he only saw himself in it. What do you see yourself in next?
I see myself in building foundations for our culture because I want to save the next generation. So I created Team Hope. When you look at inner city youth, I don't want us to give up on us because what if somebody gave up on me? I wouldn't be here right now. And I didn't live a perfect life, but when you catch one of these kids at a young age and say, because it was an older lady that told me, she said, Bright Eyes, you're going to be a star. When all the people told me I wasn't going to be nothing, because I had people told me I wasn't going to be nothing. My senior year in high school, when I graduated, I told the counselor, I said, I'm going to college. He said, man, you ain't going to no college. No, for real, this the counselor. So I was like, Pastor, I really wanted to beat this man up. I said, I was holding back. I'm like, man, what you mean I ain't going to be? He said, no, you're going to be like the rest of them back here. Do you know when I made it, that man, you got any work for me? I always knew you was going to be a star. Because I told him, I said, man, I'm going to be a star. I ain't know what I was going to be, but I know I was going to be a star.
Right. And
I left out of there, even though I could have been angry, but I left out of there saying that motivated me. Them haters sometimes, people that don't believe, you got to let that motivate you.
Yeah.
And so now to be able to come back and rebuild schools and build gymnasium in these schools that I grew up in, and that's why I say teamhopefoundation.org is about, that's where I see myself at now, like not only doing this here, but being able to do this internationally. And then my whole thing with Team Hope is giving hope, being able to feed the elderly, feed our people, because nobody care about the older people that been there for us. So I want to be able to take care of them.
That's powerful. John Kennedy said, if you want to see a great success, look for a great failure.
Yes.
Because anybody who is successful failed first. I want you to tell us about the moment you felt like you were at your lowest.
I felt so many times. Life
Tell me
like
the
a
lowest
seesaw.
one. Give me the lowest one.
Man, let me tell you something. You know how you think you got something and you think that, so that's why I really got into the music business, right? I was working at Remco. I was the repo man. And they hired me because I was from the hood. So they was like, oh, we got this big black dude. He gonna go get all the furniture that we need. And so I was that guy, right? Until I'm like, man, I'm doing so great for this company. But they had one older lady. She wasn't giving up her sofa. And she told me, she was like, she called the place and said, I said all this bad stuff. She said, I'm gonna show you, because you've been reporting everybody's stuff. And I said, miss, whatever, I'm just doing my job. She said, watch. Boy, when I went to work, the supervisor said, I need to talk to you. I said, what happened? He said, yeah, you're doing a great job. But what did you say to that old lady? And I'm like, I've said nothing to her. I was nice because, you know, I was always taught to be courteous.
Yes.
But she had a Bible, everything. When she said, I swear he said this about me, I said, I couldn't do nothing about it. They told me I got to let you go. And I was best worker, and I'm saying I'm never going to get let go again. So I got to go start my own business. And I was at my lowest because I wanted to give up. And then when I got hurt playing basketball in college, so I'm thinking I'm about to go to the NBA. When I got hurt, I had to go all the way back home. They took my scholarship. And my grandfather was the one that said, stop walking around being depressed. I know you wanted to make, because I told my grandparents I was going to buy them a house when I was a little boy, right? So I'm going to buy y'all a house. So I felt like I had failed them. And I told God, well, if you ever let me do this for my grandmother, I'm going to give you the glory. And all of a sudden in music, I was able to go back and be successful. I was able to buy my grandmother that house, and I give God the glory all the time.
When you consider that most black people don't know the full name of their great-grandparents,
Yes.
because their great-grandparents didn't leave them anything.
Yeah.
In creating this model of generational wealth,
Yeah.
what do you want your unborn great-grandchildren to know about you?
Well, know that
And are you going to leave them more than 10,000?
I might leave them 11. No, so you know what? But they minds have to be right, because you have to prepare for success. But what they gonna know about me, I educated them, I prepared us to not go back to the projects. Because that's my fear. If I don't teach them and I don't prepare the next generation, then we go back to the projects. I tell people all the time, right? You got people around you that take all these chances. They'll put 20 to life and invest that type of time in trying to get out of jail and get incarcerated and stuff like that, right? But they wouldn't put 3, 4, 5 years to invest in building a business, going to college, doing something. So I'm gonna prepare them. That's what they're gonna know about me, saying, you know what? I'm not just gonna give you nothing now, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna prepare you so now you could keep this going. And so we don't educate the next generation. They're gonna know, well, my grandfather's the one that made sure that we educated enough and we prepared to be able to do whatever we want to do. And so I think that's the problem that we have. Like, we're not prepared. We always got to go ask somebody to help us.
Yeah.
But they're only doing the things that they was taught. If we don't pass wisdom down, because the Bible say pray for wisdom, it ain't say pray for money.
That's right.
So I'm doing them an injustice if we just talking about money, because they're going to lose it, right? But if I don't prepare the next generation, then we go back to the project. And that's what I fear. That's why education and teaching hard work is so important, because we always say keep the faith.
Yeah.
They say all the time keep the faith, but faith without work is dead. And so I want to make sure that my generation and the next generation after me know that we worked for what we have.
It's powerful.
And so I think a lot of us is living that entitlement life. And so I think we raising kids like that. I don't want to do that.
No, you won't. You on the path to change the game. There's no way that two Jewish men would stand on this stage for an hour
Yes.
and not talk about Israel.
Yes.
Two men from Ireland wouldn't talk about the Irish economy. What do black businesses need to talk about in terms of doing business globally?
Yeah, I think we have to stop just trying to build black brands. So we got to create products for everybody. They don't create products for us, they create it for everybody. And so we're going to go globally, even though we know that when you talk about diversity, we at the short end of the stick. Is not many people look like us, even Fortune 500 CEOs, right? We make 1/10 of 1%. But we have to start thinking about everybody. And so when I create a product or a brand, I'm creating for everybody, whites, blacks, Asians, Latinos, but I'm gonna say, oh, you know what? But this is important for people that look like us because they normally don't see that. We don't create family brands. So think about it, when you look at Kellogg's, you look at Gucci, you look at Versace, these are all family last names. So we need to start thinking how many family brands are we gonna create? And that's how we create those legacies and be able to pass that down. So the more family brands we create, and stop thinking that I want to do just black business. Think about it, y'all. We don't make up the entire world. So if we start thinking, how can I create my product that is for everybody? Yeah. And so that's what I want to do. I want to create products for everybody, not just us. But I want it to be owned by us.
Yeah, it's powerful. One of the blessings or the benefits we got out of COVID-19 is people learned how to do business online.
Yes.
And I want you to talk a moment on how do you build it online. When you first started out, you was promoting music in the record cover about other artists.
Yes.
So how do we use TikTok and Instagram to try to cultivate your business?
So I think like when I started out, right, so I use my CDs to promote everything that I have. I promoted it, so don't be afraid. Every moment you get to market your products and your brands. And I think with social media and the internet now, you could do the same thing. I think all we want to do is show, oh, I'm doing this. But what about the other things that you have? So they thinking 10 steps ahead of us. We got to stop playing checkers and start playing chess. Wow. And so the social media and the internet is giving us that capability with the technology. Because think about it right now. They are programming robots. We still thinking about a computer. The cars are driving themselves right now. Right? Well, we looking around filming it, but how many of us making it? We got our phones out, oh, that car driving by itself. Wait up, bro. What a black man car that's driving by itself? We got to start creating things. So I tell people all the time, if we don't create the future, then now, because a lot of us done created these things to be a part of that, but then we don't have our business together. So I tell people all the time, we get mad because we don't have our business, we don't have stuff trademarked, we don't have none of these things, and then they take it, and then, because I look at, right, the guy that created the cookies, Famous Amos.
Yeah.
How could we take $1 million from us for a cookie deal, and then they go sell that cookie to somebody else for $51 million, and Famous, before he passed, he was broke. Then the person who they sold it for $51 million go sell it for $1.6 billion. So we have to know our value. How could we go buy the same cookie from them but wouldn't buy it from us?
Wow.
So we have to stop treating each other like this. Why we're not supporting us? Yeah. So think about it. I show people, I could make the same cereal they make, but you know we're going to say, oh, P, your cereal got sugar in it. They cereal has sugar in it 100 years. No, let's be honest. Now, if you want some healthy cereal, I got healthy cereal for you too, but you got to allow me to grow. But don't make me out the bad guy when you still gonna go buy the stuff from them. We ain't stopped none of their business, but we gonna stop our business. P, you pause not doing what? You gonna buy my potato chips, you gonna buy their potato chip. Mine's got more flavor.
It does.
Let's be honest.
It does.
But you're going to find an excuse for me to, Pete, because you see as a black man doing this? You don't want to see us do this on our own, so it'd be nice if I was just marketing, promoting, and take a 10% deal from them. You'll be happy for me. Because you say, oh, yeah, you know, Pete made $10 million. But you don't want me to go feed the culture, the community, because if we was gonna make $10 million from them, what about us making $200 million? Well, now we could help more people.
That's powerful. You are a rapper, executive, cereal maker, potato chip maker, ramen noodle maker.
Yeah.
Now you're getting ready to do electric cars, and now you got a book out. I want you to talk just for a moment on the 5 P's to wealth.
Yeah, so when you talk about the 5 P's of wealth, I want people to understand that to me, the most important prosperity in knowing that God didn't put us on this earth to be poor. And so everybody think just because you're in church, you're supposed to be poor. No, because when we get to heaven, we're going to have everything that we need, right?
Right.
But why can't we have some of the things to help our people while we're here?
That's right.
And that's investing into our business, our brands, also preparing your mind. But I just think that what you got to realize, what I'm teaching people is that you got to have passion about what you do. And if you have passion, then you're going to do the right thing.
Right.
And so, but you also have to have a plan, because a lot of people don't have a plan, then they plan to fail. And I think the problem is with us, we don't want to learn from other people that they made the mistakes, because this book ain't just about success. This book about how many failures I done had. I'm not just gonna talk about, oh yeah, Master P, I got all this nice stuff. No, I was hungry before.
Yeah.
I lived in the worst of the places, right? But I didn't use that as an excuse. So I want to show our people and give them the blueprint on this of wealth. I want people to see what I've been through, the changes I needed to make in my life, and also the people that I have around me that are experts. Because it's not just about me, it's about having a good team. And so when you have a great team around you, when I created this book with Tiana Johnson, where's she at?
Right here.
This a woman, I have a black woman to take this journey with me is so important, because I want to just be from both perspectives. I want our people to know that we can do this and have strong women around you, strong other people around you that can make a difference. And so we work hard. So we don't just sit around and say, hey, just because I'm Master P. And I know people say, oh, well, people always tell me all the time, well, P, you're successful now, you could do it. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Those excuses, I always wasn't successful. Y'all know, y'all seen the grind. Nobody believed in me. When I first got in the music business, they called me Mr. P, the country singer. No, for real. I was on the road with Tupac because they think I'm from the South. I get a white dude my thing and say I'm about to come up and perform. He like, oh, Mr. P, the country singer from New Orleans about to come on the stage. I say, sir, I really do hip-hop music. And so we got to stop thinking that it was just all peaches and cream for me.
Yeah.
And so I learned the music business from the business side of this. So that's why I'm still here. Because most people that got into the music business, they just want to be a rapper. I never wanted to just be a rapper. I opened up a retail record store at 19 years old. I couldn't even buy the music because I had to tell the guy that I was buying my music from the distributor, oh, I was 19, this my daddy's store.
Wow.
I couldn't have a store unless you was 21.
Wow.
Because of the music and the things that you was buying. So I had to walk in there and say, this is my daddy's store. And they believed it.
Now you daddy.
But I want y'all to know, right? I don't want y'all to think that my life was just that perfect now that you see where I'm at.
Right.
And it's still not, right? But I put my trust and faith in God. And like I told y'all, when you put your trust and faith in God and you keep going, you got a bigger reason, a bigger vision. People are not going to see your vision. So people going to look at you like you crazy when you say, hey, man, I'm about to go build this house. They're like, man, you ain't going to build it. You ain't got the money.
Right.
You don't need the money when you put in the work in and you put your faith in God.
That's powerful.
The money going to get to you. Think about it, Pastor, the people that's in here to keep this church going, sometimes you probably don't know where the money going to come from.
All the time. Until you walked in.
But that's what it's about, y'all. Like, it's about us growing and it's about us being here for each other. And I want you guys to know that for me to be here, this place is special.
Thank you.
Because I wouldn't be here if I didn't think that.
No, we're honored to have you.
Yeah. And I want you guys to realize too that for me, I put my faith in God, and you probably one of the most wonderful pastor around, right? But a lot of people get caught up into what the pastor doing or what the pastor say. And you know this yourself.
Yeah.
We coming for the word. We building God's kingdom. So I don't care who the person is that's leading us. We know that God, if I come in to do what I got to do, and I know that this is a godly place, this is what we building God's kingdom at, that's what this is about. This is about kingdom building for me now.
I love
this
it.
I want y'all to know my most important job that I realized because I didn't know what my purpose was. So my most important job is to be a servant. And so that's where my life is going at now.
Y'all don't love Pastor Percy. I need y'all to meet the new executive pastor of New Birth Missionary Baptist Church. I've been looking for you for a year. Thank you. Let me say this. Child psychologists say that when we're kids, you want to be a wrestler, you want to be a fireman, you want to be a police officer, and you want to be in the NFL. Young ladies want to be a ballerina, you want to be Wonder Woman, and there comes a point in your life where somebody tells you to choose one, that you no longer have the availability of all of those things. You refuse to choose one thing. And I want you to talk about, as we close, what it means to be great in several different areas.
Well, so this is what it is, you guys. I want you guys to know this, right? Go be great in something, but don't be afraid to diversify your portfolio, right? Because what happens because y'all know we from the South, the hurricane might come and wash something away.
Yeah.
So think about it, if you have 5 or 10 things, but you're great at that one, you put that at the top. And then it's almost like them, right? If they make a lot of money, the way to build that wealth, right? You got to take risks. So you got to invest in other things, but you got to invest in things that you love. Don't go and get into something that you don't love or it's not purpose-filled. And now for me, even though I'm getting into these other things that I'm in, but I'm saying I'm putting God in front of all these things I'm doing. And so that's why I'm able to be fruitful in it, because it's not about me no more. When I first got into the music business, y'all, I wanted to be successful. But now before I do a business, I say, God, lead me on this business.
Wow.
So that's the difference. And so I think when you start thinking like that, you're gonna change and you're gonna grow and you're not gonna worry about it. I just think a lot of people tell you to shortchange you or to stop you from doing or believing. Because think about it, so a lot of these companies, y'all, they are not the same. Go look at IBM, all these companies that has been created. I don't care whether it's Lambo, there was something else before they made it. So you don't really know. It's a journey. You don't really know what you're gonna be successful in, because God leading you on that journey. So you think, like, I thought it was basketball for me.
Right.
I thought I was gonna buy my grandmother that house playing basketball. I was on my way to the NBA. When I got hurt, I had to reroute. God sent me on a different route, and I had to take that route. And so don't be afraid to take that route. I think we always shortchange ourselves because people always tell you, right, you only gonna be good in one thing. Why? Let's be honest. Why? Why am I only gonna be good at one thing? But they could be good at 10 things.
Right.
And so I just think when we start thinking outside the box and just thinking about things that we love, like, what do you really love? And another thing, our problem is, right, we only talk about us when we dead. We're not gonna show, oh man, this man is a great man, why he here, or why he's doing this. They're gonna wait till you dead to say, oh man, you know what the pastor did? He changed this whole church up. He came. Why we can't do that and celebrate each other while we're here?
Yeah.
I want to celebrate you, my brother. That's what I want to do different.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to, in the culture and the era that we're in, I want to thank you for leading with integrity and with honor, for showing that a real man is not a perfect man, but a processing man.
Yes.
And for you to go through all of that in front of a world stage.
Yes.
And we don't have any Percy Miller parties to go to, but today we're just going to celebrate that there's no baby oil in this podcast. But it's all cereal.
Pastor, I'm going to tell you one thing.
Wasn't no way I was going to let you off this
If I go
stage.
to a party, I'm getting paid. That's all you need to know. And you ain't gonna have,
That
but
can
let me
go
tell-
different places.
Pastor,
Let's stop it here.
Pastor,
We done so well.
Pastor,
Let's
we
stop
did
here.
do well, but guess what? We can't be afraid to talk about the truth. You ain't got to worry about nothing if you're doing the right thing.
That's right.
And so that's what I want people to know. We're not afraid to talk about nothing when we're doing the right thing, but we're not perfect.
Yes.
But I also want our culture to know we got to learn from other people's mistakes.
That's
so we
right.
got to talk about it. We learning from all their mistakes. Y'all learn from my mistakes, right? At the same time, we're not going to grow if we don't look at the problem. And we also got to realize, okay, what's the solution?
Yeah.
So, because think about it, they're bringing us down as black men, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are we doing about it? You know, we got to do the right thing. Because think about it, anybody can say anything about you now.
Yes.
It's the power of the internet. And they're going to talk about all the negative things. Nobody going to talk about the good things that we are doing. And so we got to stop the media from glorifying this stuff. Because think about it, if we ain't glorified, it won't be nothing. Because if I did something wrong, take me to jail. Think about it. And that's what's going to happen. But if you didn't, we glorifying this because we want our people to not see the truth. And the truth is so many good brothers and sisters out there, but they don't talk about them, and they don't glorify that. They don't put that on the media. You're not going to see that on TMZ. You're not going to see that on the Shade Room. But guess what, Pastor? If we did something wrong,
Yes.
we're going to be at the first page when it come on. Think about it. Are they going to wait till we die to say, oh, man, he was a good dude, but
Right.
no, know what? Let's change that, y'all. We got to deprogram us because we play into it. We don't need to click on this stuff if it ain't right because they setting us up to get paid off for us. So now we need to create some things to be able to tell our narrative. And if you're wrong, then you like I said, I got a brother there, got a brother incarcerated, right? When you're wrong, they got places for you. But when you're right, they got places for you. But if we glorify the ones that are doing right, then guess what? That's when we got to give God the glory to say, man, let's show our people that we can change and we can grow. I want to glorify the ones that are doing right.
Yes.
I'm tired of just putting all the negative stuff on the news. Let's put the positive thing.
That's great.
What about these teachers and lawyers and doctors and black people that we have around us that's running business, creating brands, doing all these different things? Why they not showcasing that? That's what I want to know. I want to know why they're not showcasing it. You're only going to poison our minds. I'm tired of them poisoning our minds. Give us some good, too. Because think about it, they say that we should have a balance, right?
Yeah.
Show us some people that are doing right, that are in these schools helping our kids, in these churches doing what. Show us that.
Great.
So think about it, Pastor, we having a Super Bowl, right, in New Orleans. How many people look like us, people coming from Georgia, coming from Florida, being able to make money off of this? Because this is our culture.
Right.
And we're not doing that because we just thinking that I just said it, we need to be a part of the talent part. And so they showing us if they control the talent, then we can't make those decisions because we're not controlling our own talent no more.
Yeah.
Think about it. We want the big shoe deals. Why are we not creating shoes?
That's great. One writer said, planes that land safely never make the news. And I am so grateful to be sitting with a 747.
Yes, sir.
You have done an amazing job as a black man. Would you give it up for co-pastor Percy Miller in the building? Thank you for hanging out with me. Honored to be with you. You are watching the Jamal Bryant Let's Be Clear podcast. Ask that you will please share it. Ask that you will please like and subscribe. Amazing conversations always take place on this platform. This has been one of the most invigorating and challenging conversations, and I'm honored to be with an amazing black man. Give it up again for Master B.